Hi guys, Nessa here. Today we're going to be making an Irish soda bread. It's also called bannock. It's got simple ingredients. This came about when back during the famine in the 1800s they were having a hard time getting yeast and red wheat flour that was soft and creating those glorious loaves of bread. So they took bicarbonate soda or baking soda and they used it with buttermilk, and that created the leavening agent. So they didn't have to worry about the yeast. And then traditionally, they also had an issue with ovens. They didn't have like ovens like we have nowadays. And if they did, not very many people had them. So they cooked this bread out on an open fire in a cast iron skillet. Today we're going to go ahead and cook our bread in a cast iron skillet, but we're going to be putting it in our oven. I am not going to be cooking this bread outside on the open flame, although we could. I'm just not going to. So today we're going to be making that bread. Traditionally, they used 4 ingredients. They used flour, salt, baking soda, and buttermilk. And for special occasions, if they had it, they would add butter, and they would add some currants or raisins. Today we're going to be using raisins because that's what we got, and we use what we got because we're all about cooking out of our pantry. So come with me today, we're going to have some fun. Okay, our ingredients today are going to be 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of raisins, which I have put some hot water on them to soften them up a little bit. We're going to be using 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter. We're going to be using some granulated sugar, and that's 2 tablespoons. Then we have 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and then we have a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 cup of buttermilk. And this is our homemade perpetual buttermilk that we're going to be using today. So let's get started. So first off, we're going to go ahead and measure in our flour. Level it off. Okay, 2 cups of flour. To our flour, we're going to go ahead and add our sugar, our baking powder, our salt, and our baking soda. And then we're going to give that a stir so that we can make sure those ingredients are all distributed in our flour. You can sift this if you want to, but you certainly don't have to. Okay. Next, into our flour, we're going to cut in 2 tablespoons of our butter. Just going to score that so we know where 2 tablespoons is. I love this butter. It's my favorite. Okay. So it's going to look like that because it's in a, a brick. So I'm going to actually take this so that this goes faster and cut it into little pebbles. We don't want to be sitting here cooking all day and making bread all day, or do we? Maybe some of us do. Now I'm going to use a pastry blender. You certainly could do this with your hands. And we're just going to cut that butter into the flour. So if you don't have a pastry blender, the way you would do that is you would just kind of work it in like this. With your hands, pick that butter up and just kind of squeeze it. If you've got arthritis in your hands, maybe use the pastry blender. You could do it the other way, where I've never been able to master the technique of using forks or knives, 2 knives together, and I don't have the patience for that, to be honest. that kind of, it's awfully tedious to me. I'd rather just use my hands and get after it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to work that butter into our flour and our other ingredients. Next, we're going to go ahead and go in with our buttermilk. We need 1 cup. Oh yeah, that smells good already. That smells like fresh, gorgeous buttermilk. I hope you guys will give this a try. Okay, we're going to create a little well. We're going to put our buttermilk in there. We're going to give it a stir. My oven is heated to 375. We're going to be shaping this. We're going to knead it and shape it into a round ball. And then we're going to put it into an oiled cast iron skillet. You could certainly use a Dutch oven. You could use a cookie sheet if you want to. Just make sure that it's greased. Or lay down some parchment paper. Okay, our dough has come together quite quickly. And we are going to add our soaked raisins. I'm not going to add that raisin water. I don't want it to make our dough too soft. Okay, and in we go. Okay, it's all mixed up. Everybody's in the pool. And we are going to go ahead and go grab a little bit more flour, and we're going to knead this dough for about 5 minutes until it gets a little bit glossy and not so sticky. Okay, we're going to lay down a little bit of flour, not too much. Turn our dough out. And this is sticky. We'll set this aside. Okay. We're going to add a little bit of flour to our hands. And we're going to knead this. This is not a large loaf of bread. It's, back when they would make the loaves of bread, it was called a daily loaf. And because they didn't have refrigeration, they didn't have, the things that we have now. So they would make a daily loaf of bread, usually. And so these loaves of bread are traditionally a little bit smaller as well. And that's kind of nice because then you can make another one tomorrow that's different. So I really appreciate that. Plus, right now there's only 2 of us in our house. So us having a bunch of bread sitting around, then we feel like we really got to use it. But when it's like this, a small loaf like this, we can usually get through it in a day or 2. So just keep folding it in on itself and it'll stop becoming so sticky. Add whatever amount of flour you need to, a little bit at a time, to get it to come together. You could certainly do this in, like if you had a KitchenAid mixer with a dough hook, you could certainly do this on there. I just think it's more fun to play with your food, I guess. Kneading this dough also helps to form that gluten in your flour. So you get that nice bread texture. This is almost similar to a scone. I don't know if you've ever made those. Those are quite simple too, and I am a huge scone fan. Once again, I think something like that's probably in my blood, but what do I know? But this is very similar to a scone with the buttermilk in it and the leavening, and then of course currants or raisins. I've I've added a little bit of extra flour in here while we've been kneading, and we've got a nice little round. I would say I probably ended up with using maybe another 1/4 of a cup of flour during the kneading process. So we're going to shape this with our hands into a round-ish ball. It's not a large loaf. So there's a tradition for this soda bread that is kind of fun. You want to we're going to be putting a cross across the top of that. Folklore says that that's to let the devil out. You know, the Irish, they were full of folklore and lots of pagan influences in their culture. I find that so funny to hear that they would even do that in their bread making, that they would be letting the devil out. Now, I don't know if that was a certain religious group or not, but it's just kind of a fun little thing. So I'm going to grab a knife and we're going to score this. We want to score it a 1/2 inch deep. What it's going to do is allow this bread to let the steam escape out of this bread so that we get a good rise out of it and good texture. So let me grab a knife. Okay, we got our knife. We're going to go ahead and score it. So we want to go about a 1/2 inch deep. And if you need to add a little bit of flour to your knife to make that cut, just get after it. Yeah, that helped. All right. So there's our cut. And we're going to go ahead and get this into our cast iron skillet. I have my cast iron skillet here. You do not need to preheat this. We are going to put down a little bit of olive oil to keep this bread from sticking. Okay, and then we're going to plop this sucker right on in there. It's looking pretty already. I can't wait to eat this. Okay, we're going to go into the oven at 375, and this is going to bake for about 40 minutes. Our bread is out of the oven, and it looks gorgeous. We're going to put a little bit of butter on the top of it, just so it gets that beautiful shiny color. You don't have to. I just want to because, well, it's good. It's got a nice crispy sound to it. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to dig into this. All right, I'm going to take it out of the pan. This looks so beautiful. It's a nice, gorgeous loaf. Sounds nice and good on the inside. Oh, that looks beautiful. Our crosses on the top where we let the devil out look really nice. My husband would say that's where we let my twin sister out, right there. Anyway, we're gonna let this cool for just a few minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and cut a slice and add some butter to that, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the inside. I'm really excited to get this cut up. I'm so glad you guys are here with us and get to see this. Ooh, look at that steam. Oh, that smells really good. My raisins sunk down to the bottom a little bit. I think that's because I didn't get them rolled into dry flour before I put them into the mix. I probably should have done that. That's okay. Just don't make the same mistake I did. Oh, this looks good. It's got a tender crumb to it. It's crunchy on the outside. Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to try this. So we're gonna, I don't want the end piece. Some people are spoiled. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. We're gonna get some of our Irish butter onto our Irish bread. You, of course, could put some jam on here if you wanted to. Oh, that butter's all melty goodness. I can't wait. Oh yeah, that cuts so nice too. It's such a tender crumb. It's not like it's not like a quick bread, but it's not like a sandwich bread either. Let's go ahead and try it. Mm. Mm. That is so good. That kneading created such a nice denser texture than what you would get in a quick bread. The flavor is really good. I think this would be good with some maybe some turkey, also some like cold cuts. But it's good just like this with a cup of tea, which is how I'm gonna have it. I hope you guys will try this. It's so simple. It's frugal, super pantry friendly. You can have this bread done in a matter of minutes, you know, of the mixing, and then it bakes for 40 minutes. And it's just a lovely loaf of bread that you don't have to sit around and wait for it to rise on the counter. This is a keeper. This is a good weeknight bread to serve with even some soup if you wanted to. I hope you guys will give this a try. Thanks for watching.